Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight in a conversation between Nicole Kelly Westman and Soloman Chiniquay, who brought the artist project to Steve's current issue called Extraction. And this is a project that fills 7 pages of the magazine with Solomon's work. My name is Joy. I'm the editor at CMag, and Mondak Mohammed, reviews editor, is holding down the behind the scenes with tech today. And just to note that we are recording the session today. Um, uh, so a note before we start, CMAG's offices, myself, and many staff are located in Toronto or Takaranto or Kichi Kiwenging, which is the ancestral land of many nations and peoples, including the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, Seneca, Huron-Wendat, and Mississaugas of the Credit. This continues to be home to Indigenous people from across Turtle Island and beyond, bearing in mind the complexities of deference to land, history, and current realities in the middle of ongoing colonial projects. We continue to state the Setsi as an expression of relation, and in the effort to encourage our audiences in your various connections to indigeneity or settlerhood, to embody what being here or wherever you are means for you in your daily lives, in the ways that are possible for you. So tonight's dialogue is a part of a series of artist projects supported in part by RBC Emerging Artists. CMAG's artist projects provide a chance for artists to explore, experiment, and grow within the specificities of a magazine format, spanning the first 6 and last 2 pages of C. Each is curated by a guest curator, either solicited by C's editors or greenlit from submissions from the open call. That person commissions a new work, writes the text, and hosts a public program with the artist, which is where we are now. So tonight's conversation will run for about an hour with a possible Q&A, depending on when we open the floor. I'm excited that Sol and Nicole have made time this evening to talk more in depth about the context of Sol's work as a documentary photographer and filmmaker, also surrounding the artist project for the Extraction issue, in depicting peripheries from the front lines of the Creek Blockade, which is standing to save the last old-growth forest in Pachita territory on the west coast. Nicole writes that Soloman actively works against the tradition of photographers and photojournalists who act like hunters. And without further delay, I'll turn this conversation over to them.
Hi, I'm Soloman Chiniquay. I'm from the Stony Nakoda and Pomo nations, and also Afro-Indigenous. And Nicole?
Hi, I'm Nicole. I'm really nervous, but happy to be here. I'll try not to be too much of a rambly, long-winded speaker, but Sol is definitely one of my favorite photographers, and we've had a nice exchange of trading cameras every so often, and I think Sol's passion for photography has reinstilled an interest in me to maybe shoot a shutter once in a while. So I'm super grateful that you are here and we get to show some of your work. And we made a little slideshow, so maybe we can start there. That's good now.
We also might want to mention that we're on unceded and unceded lands, the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh people, and we're uninvited guests here as well.
Yes, thank you, Sol. All right, I'm gonna be doing the text, so bear with me here.
Gonna show some images and a short little movie that I made.
Do you want to talk about give a little intro to the film, or should I play it first?
You just play it.
Okay.
That was my auntie. I periodically go and bug elders around my community and as an excuse to hand out money and record whatever they want to talk about. And that's kind of like how I feel like doing work, especially like documentary things. And I don't know, really resonate with like how she feels about like I feel similarly with like people that go in and try to like just any photojournalist, just trying to get a story or something like that, or like I don't know, it just seems like these people are not actually part of communities that they're trying to serve or like supposedly trying to like help. um I don't know, I don't like it. You can fight with me on the internet, I won't respond because I'm too busy doing actual work maybe. So that's
Well,
anyway.
I like an open invitation to fight on the internet is always a nice leadway. But I know I feel like you and I have had some really nice bonding moments talking about that sort of like that cringy. I was going to say niche, but it's not. It's a little bigger than a niche part of photography where there's sort of this. It's like a tourist that comes in and like kind of believes that they're have some sort of merit or objective superpowers in like making the perfect document to like martyrize the struggles of other people, and it does. Yeah, I think you make it the point quite poignant when you say there's lots of other things you could be doing if you really care about that stuff, you know.
Yeah, and you want to show some photos, I guess?
Oh yeah, but I was going to ask with this film too, this is part of the Stony Nakota AV Club, or this is just a Saul authored in?
Yeah, that's part of the Stony Nakota AV Club. I dragged around my cousins, and they like filmmaking, but they don't really like documentaries. Because it's not as cool as we used to make a lot of the zombie films and like horror films. I want to get back into that, but it's just too many horrible things happening. But one of my cousins, someone sent him a drone. Like I don't know why. Like
Yeah.
he did a thing. He did like a thing for some youth like talking engagement, and they just gave him a drone randomly. So we were just I just been using an excuse to pay him to like fly around his drone because he's super stoked about it. And I got my cousins to do the audio, and I talked to a bunch of elders. It wasn't just that my auntie, it was a bunch of people. And yeah, I try to use like grants as an excuse to give away money on the reserve because it's like I don't know what else. Someone's gonna buy like a $30,000 computer or something. Or I know a lot of people that use grants for equipment and things, and that's cool, whatever. I'm just going to use it to help old people and kids. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and it ends up being so perfect too, because when at that last line, when you kind of just smile at her cheekiness, you know, and it feels so good that it's this drone footage and she's asking for lightning, you know, so it feels like this really nice moment that you ended up accidentally sort of having this drone, and it comes in to be a part of this film that you guys make as a community. I couldn't help but cheer a little bit when you mentioned the zombie films, because that's, although we just met each other as human beings in 2020, I think the first time I ever saw your work was at a screening in media, or your work with community with the Stony Nakota AV Club. And I think there was about 3 members that had films in this emerging, it was like a 2-week workshopping, produce some films at the end. And one of them I think had some zombies and a car chase in it, and it was like I remember my stomach hurting from laughing so much. It was really beautiful.
Yeah, I might do a screening soon here, maybe, I don't know, of like our weird zombie films, because they're really weird. They were kind of, we didn't write any scripts for any of them. We just kind of like every day was just like, oh, we're doing this now, and like this is how the story's going.
And
yeah,
more
really,
cousins get involved.
Yeah. Oh yeah, people would come and go, and some people, like I played dead bodies as well, even though I did the camera. Like when I was like playing dead bodies of people that had to go home because they had to go to school the next day or something, like whatever.
Yeah, like just cover up most of my identifiable parts up and it'll work. Okay, let's show these people some of your other beautiful things. it was hard to narrow it down, but I mean, I found some of my favorites for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I just handed you 40 random photos, so.
Yeah. Okay, let's see how I can do with my tech skills a second round here. All right. Yeah, so I thought I'd throw in some of our some of the outtakes from the article, because I think I mentioned, I think I make reference to some of these photos, but they're more beautiful in the way that you actually captured them. But I can just float through, and if you want to talk about some things, maybe. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
I always love, I put a few of these in here with your shadow in the reflection on the landscape, which I noticed is a bit of a, the self-portrait in your work comes through in a few different ways, usually in the mirror or the shadow. But I was sad this one didn't make the final cut, so I had to show it to everybody else.
Yeah, I think also something about Fairy Creek that's kind of interesting that might be, that's the reason why I went there, is that I'm from Palma Nations, and we used to have redwoods there. We used to have old growth there, but it's all gone now. And that's like kind of what drew me there to begin with, because I just remember my grandma just being devastated by the forest being gone. And I don't know, just thought it would be a good opportunity to bear witness to the land before it's gone. Like, not that I have any business being there, because I don't. But I don't know, just wanted to see something before it's gone.
Yeah, and I think when you say that, like those images really have that sort of feeling of a goneness to them, Of course, everybody, I hope, has seen these, because they're the reason we're here, I guess. But maybe we could talk about some of your other work in print. I put some of these pages from this publication in there.
Yeah, I mean, I love photographing found things and garbage, and people. I don't really like photographing people recognizably. Personally, I just, unless it's like a portrait that's set out to be a portrait. That's not to say that I've never photographed someone like in a social documentary way of no consent or whatever. I have done that. I'm not like whatever weird. Yeah. I do that, and I have done that. I don't do it anymore, actually, but but I do like to photograph, like, I use like broken cameras and things that are really cheap to like make moments where there are not any, if that makes sense. If there's going to be humans in the frame, just something really dreamy and ethereal. Because when you're using these broken cameras, you have no idea what's going to happen, and more often than not, there's nothing. But sometimes there's, like, literally it'll be blank, like, so, and that's a lot of times. Sometimes I'm shooting and it's just like blank, and it's totally fine. I'll get over it. It's fine. It just cost me money, but
Yeah. But you do I mean, you do then. You're so DIY, as you are already saying, love to shoot on a broken camera and maybe fix it up as you go. But you also do a lot of all your own hand processing and stuff too. And I love that same sentiment bleeds over into, if you process the film and it comes out and it's blank, or it's not the exact colors you want, that's part of the work as well, instead of being so precious about it that it's like, I feel like film, because it's such a material and now it's so expensive, and it kind of has this like durational length and like physical length, and so sometimes people can end up being so precious about it, but then you're on the other side of that spectrum in a beautiful way.
Yeah. Also, I do use a lot of expired film and things I found in the garbage. Like I have stacks and stacks and stacks of film that I found in the garbage, and or like in thrift stores, and I still use some of these things. So a lot of people always say like, "Oh, you must be rich because you shoot on film." I'm like, I've been shooting on film since I was like 14, and I've just been finding things. And I didn't have any money then, but I have a little bit of money now, so I can afford Portra sometimes, so it's fine. But back like ever since I've been shooting, since I was in high school, I was shooting on film. So it's like, I don't know. I just never bought a digital camera. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and what was that? I'm not technically as savvy in any kind of way, but remember the thing that you were doing where you could take the back off the thin film trick?
Oh yeah, just like loading other film into different cameras. Yeah, I do that often too. I just like tape random bits of film into different cameras and expose it in a dark bag, or like expose it and then go into a dark bag and take it out. Yeah.
It's beautiful. And so maybe I'll just read the little text. This is jazz.
Yeah, I work a lot with jazz on many different things, but some of the things we do together are like it's like a conversation. So I give jazz a selection of images, and then they arrange them in a certain way, and then they write some poems, and then I get the poems, and then I arrange it in a certain way, and then jazz looks at it, and if they don't like it or they want to change the arrangement, they'll change it, but usually they don't. And that's how our collaboration process goes.
Oh, beautiful.
So
Yeah.
it's,
Sorry, Sam.
like the poems are based off the photographs.
Okay. Yeah, and this one says, healing is a reflex. Flow, don't fight. Take off those clothes and put on a smile. And I'll also do a second of gushing on jazz. I have a jazz right here. I forewarned them we might gush for a little bit because I saw the slides have lots of jazz content too. And this is another part of the collaboration, and this text says, pick my heart up and give it a kiss before you throw it on the ground.
This photo I actually didn't take. My dad took this, my late dad. Yeah, there's some photographs in my, like some of the photographs in some of my works are my dad's or my grandpa's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very few and far between, but I like to show both of their works because they never really got a chance to do that, because they didn't know they were photographers. So yeah.
Yeah, I saw a little stack of your very bigger stacks of inherited images, and they're pretty stunning. You can see you inherited a bit of a photographic eye from your family. Where is this ocean? Do you know? Or
Yeah, that's in California. That's, I don't know, somewhere along the coast.
yeah, because it's so important in all of your images. You always remember exactly where the land was that you took that photograph, like the record of it.
Yeah, I mean, I try to, but yeah, I don't know exactly where this is because my dad's long gone, and I have no idea. I just found like I have like stacks of my family's negatives, like they're like all over the place, and I'm slowly going through them. Don't know where this is. I have no idea. I just know it came from my dad's camera because he would take photos all the time.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. I couldn't tell. Like it looks like the style of image that you would take too. I like that this one pulled back into, like, it makes sense now that you're saying that you and Jazz kind of switch, send images or send back and forth text, because the smile kind of comes from the start into the end of the publication in a nice way.
Yeah. Whoa, that looks weird. The
Oh.
scan looks so weird, but it's fine.
Sorry about that. And then this one's older than that one, right? Sorry, I went
Yeah.
backwards. This one you guys did first?
Yeah, that was in 2019. That was my third publication. And that was the first time I worked with poets. Before I was just solo. I just randomly did a call on Instagram to see if anyone would contribute to this. And this is all photographs of my family and tree 6 and tree 7 land. There's only one image that's tree 6.
Mhm.
But yeah, I did this. Yeah, I don't know. I was really sad.
I like a little giggle after an honest, really sad. I'm just gonna, I'll read a couple of these poems that they do sit like very sad images now that you say. I'll come home as long as I can find permission to be in an endless state of leaving. My indigeneity may not be palatable to you, but there's no need for it to be. No need to document me. I'll be gone on the wind. And this one says, dead trees, dirty knees, and the cold wind always calls you home. Little res kid walking, head held high, pants too long, they drag under my heels, soaked wet pant cuffs. Oh no. And then this one says, sorry, I have to get like my little old lady eyes, I have to get closer. It's crystal clear lakes and dirty tap water. It's spam and deer meat. It's auntie's home and auntie's missing. It's Jesus cross and medicine wheel, bolo ties and beaded medallions. It's pine after pine and telephone pole, bone knife and paper plate, vast plains and cousins in cages, oil slick cement and soil, endless pain and perpetual gratitude. Sorry, whoops. And then this is your guys' fresh, brand new collaboration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I also got censored. They said the city told me not to put this, or not the city.
Translate?
Yeah. Anyway, I gotta get somebody to write them a angry letter or something. I don't know. I'm too tired.
Maybe if all our audience can get together and send in, please let this one not be censored.
Yeah, they asked for me to put art on a train station or something. They said that this was too political.
And it's this particular image that's just too much for them.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
guess
God.
so. I don't know.
It just
Yeah.
seems like facts to me.
Yeah, it seems like a fact.
All right, and I'll keep going through these. And so this process was a little bit different because Jazz is painting here instead of poetry, but was it a similar means for exchange?
It was the same thing. Me and Jazz sat together and got 100 images together, and we sat for like half an hour and picked whichever ones worked.
Mhm.
Mostly based on color palette and
Mhm.
like form, I guess.
Yeah, and then these are part of a publication as well, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, anything else you want to say? Or
Yeah, there's gonna be a show in April, opening, I guess, at Art Speak Gallery. And there'll be, yeah, it's kind of funny. This publication is the most expensive publication that I've ever done, and I've only made 100 of them, and like 18 of them got eaten by a dog.
no
Yeah,
way.
they did.
No. I like that there's like 3 beautiful dogs in it, so like it just in this selection of images, so it's kind of poetic in and of itself, but those were expensive dog treats.
Very expensive dog treats. That's fine though. Whatever. What can you do?
It kind of goes with like the whole, like if you lose a whole film of images, it's okay, right? Sometimes.
Yeah, it is okay. I don't know. Like, what can you do about it? Literally nothing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, here's the other. This is the last one I put on here with the dog too. They're so beautiful. And so how big are they in the publication? Are they huge or little?
No. This publication is very small, even though it's cost me $1 billion to make. So if anyone wants to donate, I take you could pay it off maybe, I don't know, but
You take everything but American Express?
yeah. What's that called? So these are going to be really small. They're like going to be this big, like 4 inches by like 4 by 6-ish. And I got Queese Hamilton to make cases for them. They're loose prints, so there'll be 25 loose prints in a fold. What's that called? Like a envelope of some sort.
Cool.
They're gonna be free.
Wow.
So yeah, they'll be free unless you're rich. So yeah.
It's beautiful. I like that they're free, even though they're the most expensive. Like, cause all the other, like I have these guys over here.
Oh yeah, all my publications are free, and if you paid for them, you can totally ask me for a refund, I guess, and it's totally cool. That's fine. But usually if there's money going to them, I give it all away because I don't need it, because I have a job that pays me, so I don't need to make money off this. That's not to say you can't make money off your own art, but I'm just saying I don't need it. It's extra.
Yeah. But it's also, I like that I love that you and Jess often have those publications available for free. So, and it just makes art really accessible. But I know that the zines are a different price point than these new ones. So I didn't know that even the new one, the new $1 billion beautiful publication will be a free one too. That's really nice.
Yeah, they'll be free for people that need it, I guess. And that's usually the only people who get it. So
yeah. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna go to the next one. Oh, there's Jazz. That's who we've been gushing about.
Yeah, this is Jazz, just documenting Jazz paints. I often use my photographic services to help people like document what they need to do, like so that they can look more professional, I guess, or whatever they need, whatever you need a photograph for. There's so many uses for a photograph. They're just helping Jazz out because needed professional images to, like, for whatever reason, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think they need
they look great. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
I just stole these ones from your Instagram because they're really beautiful snowy photos.
Yeah.
But I thought maybe you could talk a little bit about the film you were working on this summer.
Oh yeah. This summer I went, like, I did 16 days, or I did like 7 days of hiking in the backcountry to go look for buffalo to film them. I did the other days. So this is me hiking with my my crew and my nephew and my little brother. We went hiking to Yarhe Tinda, which is where it's supposed to be not for settlers, but they took it over. It's supposed to be like leading towards like a holy place, but not, I don't know, people took it over, so like what can we do about it? Yeah. Anyway, it's such a nightmare to get in there. Oh my god, so expensive. But I filmed some buffalo and went hiking with my family, and I was teaching them how to use like 16mm and 35mm cameras. So I shot it on 16 and 35. And yeah, there's my cousin Jarrett, who's one of the founders of Mâkochî Nîbi Îhonîach. Yeah, we make films a lot together, and yeah. Yeah, so the film is based off of a recording or a magazine from 1970, because I was digging through archives in the White Museum, which is a museum in Banff. I was reading up on just different documents that people are writing, and there's like these weird newspapers that Stony people wrote in the 70s, like from 68 until like 70, 78. So it was like a 10 years of newspaper that was like so DIY and like kind of garbage, like quality wise, I guess. It was like construction paper and just like really strange. But nobody really curated it, so you could just like literally write whatever you wanted in there. So there's like some really unhinged things in there. It's really great. I got them all scanned and what have you. I think my sister stole the magazine and like lost it, which is fine, whatever. Which is fine.
Yeah.
But I think so. I don't know. I couldn't find the exact newspaper because there's so many of them. Or one of the museum people lost it. I don't know. Could be either. Or. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not here to judge anyone.
Yeah.
But so it's like this magazine article or this newspaper article that was talking about the bison and how we're not Nakota people anymore because there's no bison anymore, and we're not natives and we're something else. And it kind of really affected me. Yeah, it kind of really affected me as far as like what like that. I read that in like 2015, and then they released bison into the Tinda, which is where the buffalo are now. So they released wild bison there, and I was there for like the ceremony to introduce them. I was just there because I was just hanging around Banff. But I was there and I saw this ceremony and I was just hanging around these old people. And I was thinking about that, and I've always wanted, like, I've been trying to make this doc for like since then. So it's been stewing in my brain, but I finally got the funds to do it this year. So I went out and shot it, and I just recorded interviews from people around the reserve. And a lot of my elders are gone now, so it's kind of hard to get what I thought I wanted. So I kind of switched things up with this doc. I kind of just interviewed not necessarily random people, but like every interview, I just felt like a gut feeling to interview this person. And every single one, everyone was like, you should just go talk to an elder. And I was like, no, I want to talk to you. And then everyone was like, oh, I don't know anything. And then they just shared the most beautiful thing that I've ever heard. And like, oh yes, you do know stuff. And it was great.
Yeah. That's kind of what you're best at, Saul, is like, passing the torch in a way that allows other people to see what their promises can be, these are really beautiful. So were these still scans from the?
Yeah, these are just some stills from some of the 35 I shot up there this summer. Shot it all on expired film. It's all garbage. It's the only way I could afford that, because 35, if you ever shot film, 16 millimeter film, oh my God, 35 millimeter film is so expensive. But this is all found film, donated by Norm Lee, who's very sweet and helps me a lot. Yeah, so it's kind of, I mean, a lot of people also got that film, not just me. But anyway, yeah, so this is some scans from that.
And so you hiked up the mountain with all the film equipment and.
Not 35. I only took the 16 millimeter.
Okay. I was like, oh man, I know you can do the things, but
I would need like 5 horses to bring up the 35.
Okay, perfect. And when you got up there, you said you saw the buffalo right away, right? When you guys
immediately.
Yeah. And so for the film, do you feel like you still have a little ways to go before it's a final thing? I mean, you started it in thinking about it in 2015, so it's not like it should be done tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I have all the footage and everything. I just need, I went over budget a little and I need some funds to help finish it. So I'm just trying to wait for that and trying to think about how I want it to be in the meantime. But yeah, it's all there. It just needs to be put together.
Yeah. All right. I don't know what these two want. You might.
Yeah,
You
this is just when we're working with Jazz and Vines and all the folks there. We were this is just helping people at the Wolverines farm.
Okay.
I don't know if you know that story, but I'm not going to go into it. But
I like a teaser like that. Oh, Google it. All right.
yeah. Oh, I can't remember what his name is. He had a standoff in I think the 90s.
That's just in Lake, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but his children are his descendants have a farm and they've been there for years now. And I think that was started from him. He wanted to like teach farming techniques to people and like traditional ways of farming, and it's all organic. So they just kind of like need help from time to time. So Jazz and Heather and the folks at Vines go down and help them with whatever they need, like twice a year ish. So this is just a photograph from that. We help them torch a field so that they could plant it, because it's like this was last geez, I don't know, like May or something like that, or April. So we just helped them with that, and then they planted their crops on that after. I'm not sure anything about farming, but I'm pretty sure that's the thing you gotta do. I don't know. Anyway, we built them a little greenhouse and I just photographed it.
It looks beautiful.
So it's not that's oh my god, I had to build this.
Oh,
They gave us the wrong instructions and the wrong parts.
oh my goodness.
So it's like really resly built because I made it, and well, me and Heather and my friend Ruben and some other folks tried to help us. I kind of just basically duct taped it together.
Oh, nice.
With nice duct tape. It's really nice.
Yeah, you got a good adhesive.
But yeah, so that's that.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, I like you sent me this one too.
Oh yeah, bougie duct tape. Oh yeah, you all can just shoot out questions right now.
Oh right, yeah.
But we can keep continuing on. So I've been teaching photo workshops here and there. I've been also teaching like high schools, like camera workshops for years. And I guess teaching with Nicole AV Club since I was like 15, like little kids how to animate and little things here and there. I think teaching is a big part of like what I do, I guess, and it's a big part of like helping like I don't know, I feel like if you're like I don't know, I feel like a lot of activism doesn't, it's very like I don't know, very not like there's more than just blocking a road, there's more than just chaining yourself to something. There's like people and like kids and elders and things and like not things but like people that like there's times to chill, like you don't have to like I don't know, sometimes you just gotta chill and like make art and little things and it's chill. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and I think when I think about these workshops, we have a good friend Riel, and one summer Shine was hanging, her son Shine was hanging out with you, and then by the end of these like 2 weeks, he had like 6 rolls of really beautiful photographs he had shot. So it's like I think in those moments of activism, what you're doing is like you're you're advocating or building the confidence in these other folks to be able to like, I don't know, have a different kind of voice or feel more comfortable with a technical ability too. And I think, yeah, I'm sure it feeds back to you in when you're in these workshops, or the ways they bring images back in when you're looking at things so photographically all the time. But
yeah, I think also with this particular, with Chinatown and like working with Yarrow and working with these Chinatown elders, with teaching them how to photograph, is that like kind of going against street photography, because I hate street photography. You can yell at me on the internet, I won't respond again. Go ahead, my DMs are closed, so go for it. I hate street photography. You can say that what I do is street photography, I don't care, whatever. But I think that part of like this Chinatown project was to like give like old people like agency to their own image, because I think a lot of street photographers just come here a lot in different Chinatowns and like different places in downtown, and they just photograph people that live there, and it's really weird.
yeah,
And so it's kind of nice to like give agency back to these people by giving them cameras and like teaching them like things about how to photograph and like what's good. And like it was really nice. And I did another workshop with Mount Pleasant Community House with some other Chinatown or Chinese elders, not Chinese, but just really nice. And these workshops were also in like Cantonese and Mandarin. Yeah, so I think that's also something to think about.
are you still processing the film from all those workshops?
I am, yeah. There's me.
Yeah, I threw some of these in here. I like these series because you can really see how many cameras you have. There's just so many different, I mean, if you're a nerdy photographer, you can tell how many different cameras you have from all the ways the images look. But if you're a lazy photographer like me, you can see them in the mirror that they're different ones. So, but do you want to say anything about self-portraiture, or do you want me to blast through these photos really quickly?
I don't know. I just like to like that was my auntie's house before.
Oh, the first one?
Yeah, this is my auntie's house. Yeah, this is like right after we had like hours after we had buried her daughter. I like to photograph, like I always just photograph at like really heavy moments, but like there's just like times in which I like just chill and just like think for a second, and then I like to look at my own face when I'm processing film, to like just really just remember how I looked at that time, I guess. Yeah, a lot of really heavy shit all the time. Yeah, this is right after I buried my cousin. Yeah, this is my grandma's room. I don't know where this is. Some pile of garbage.
I thought you might say that. That's why I picked this one. Because I feel like there's like a cliff note in every advice you like. I'm like, oh, where'd you get that? And you're like, well, there was a stack of garbage, and underneath it there was this other garbage that people thought was garbage, and I found was treasure. Oh, these are, yeah. Oh, beautiful.
It's my grandma.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, watching Dr. Phil.
Oh, nice. Classic grandma move. I used to watch a lot of Jerry Springer with my grandma.
This is my nephew. I've been trying to like help him with his like music career, I guess. I don't know anything about music or rap music or anything like that, but he's a rapper, so I've been trying to like show up and help him out like wherever I can, and like been learning about music things and like finding out who can help him out and do things, I guess, because I think he's really talented. So yeah, it's kind of like that.
Do you have any hip hop promoters in the audience? Get in touch with Saul for another thing he's figuring out how to do for his cousins or nephew.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I like this one a lot. I just found it on online. But you sent me this one.
Yeah, that was my nephew or my niece had just this moments after, right before that other photograph of myself. We just released balloons because it was her birthday. Her funeral was the same day as her birthday. Yeah. I'm also a funeral photographer. Photograph all my family's funerals.
Wow.
Yeah.
Doing so much. I made this one another awkward click link, but maybe we can just send people to we can put the link in the chat or something, because I think it's to listen to all the films, it's about an hour, right?
Yeah, there's oh my god, I can't even remember what it's called, the actual name of it, but it's on the Vine.
Lake of Dreams.
Lake of Dreams. Great.
Right? I was like, oh, I know.
Yeah, so I just did this workshop with I did this series of films for this Sequoiamic elder. I can't remember her last name, but just call her Michelle. She's around. And yeah, we just interviewed 8 elders of her choosing, and she was like the director of the film, and like yeah, it was really nice. We just like interviewed elders, just kind of like how the first film was, and just let them talk about whatever they wanted to talk about. And then I made 8 little movies about it, and got a lot of help from around the community of people around Vines to like make it happen. Yeah, it was really short and sweet. It's like an hour and a half of footage there if you want to watch it, of 8 elders just talking about their lives.
Yeah,
Quite
it
nice.
really fills your heart up, that one. I got to go to I think they did a screening at SFU, and I went and checked it out, and they were pretty, there's a lot of them that make you clench your chest a little. Beautiful. Very good work, so I can't believe it, but we only have 8 minutes left. I somehow didn't go way over, which maybe there's a question we should answer or something.
Yeah, anyone have any questions? Yeah, yeah. Okay.
I'll just leave it that awkward opening.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I could like,
You could plug some things, upcoming things.
yeah, maybe donate to Dolph, donate to me, send me money, because I keep giving it all away. I give away all my money.
It's true.
My family needs help. Do or don't, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. But yeah, I try to donate all my funds to my family. And I have about 500, and I'm one of the only working people, and grants really help with that and things like that. I think if you just Google the things, like you can donate to Vines too, that would help me. Donate to DOLF, which is the Drug User Liberation Front. I think that would be great. Maybe I'll get it.
Yeah, so I was like, can I type that?
You can donate crypto. That would be very helpful for us. I don't know. I do a lot of. I've been helping out Dolph a lot. in a lot of my work, and I'm not photographing any of that because I don't want to photograph yeah, I don't want to photograph like drug users on the street dying, because I don't think that's great. A lot of my family have died from overdose, and I'm trying to take a step back with documenting things like that. So this is just is horrible. It's not to say that, like, obviously there's photographs of my niece in a casket, but I think that's a bit different. It's my own family. And yeah, and how I process things, I guess. But I don't think that, yeah, I want to document things like that anymore.
Should we just put your email address for each answer?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
That's online. Such a fast typer.
Thanks everybody for coming here, and
Yeah. Yes, thank you for listening, and thank you so much, Saul, for making so much time for me and all my pestering questions, and making me fall in love with photography again. I'm still begrudging to lots of the similar issues, but I can see the light in it. So
yeah, thanks to everyone for coming.
hi, Wes.
Yes,
Hi, Jaya. Hi, Peter.
thank you again to both of you, and to all the attendees that are here tonight. I feel like I felt this generosity of your sharing, and the images and these stories coming through that are lots of heavy shit and some not so heavy shit. But this has been really a warm feeling, and kind of organic feeling that I appreciate. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining. Just a note, if anyone in the audience wants to propose an artist project, we recommend signing up for these newsletters so you can get notice when there are calls for submission and their paid projects. We also accept ongoing print and online reviews. There's a current call for pitches for features for C-153 on the theme of gossip, to do with misaligned oral traditions and systems of power and how we share information. Yeah, thanks again, everyone, for joining us, and I hope everyone stays cozy tonight wherever you are.
Thanks, Jay.